Welcome to Black Sheep. Good morning. I'm Nancy from Black Sheep Knitting. I hope you're all well, and I thank you for tuning in from, as I realize, different parts of the world. So, might be, who knows? Well, who knows what time you're watching this because we're not live. But yeah, it's winter in Australia, or getting to be. It's probably fall going into winter. First thing I want to do was show you a pattern that I've altered somewhat that some people are doing, and I recommended it before, and it's called Inlet by Yumiko Alexander, and I do like her patterns a lot. Well, Robin's sister made it and showed us a picture, and it was quite big on Carol, and I thought, I don't want it to be quite that big. So what I did, it asked you to cast on, for my size, it was cast on 126. That was the small, and that was what Carol made. So I only cast on 100 instead of 126. And I don't just seem like a round number, so I chose that. As it turns out, it measures.
So scientific.
Yeah, it's my scientific way of doing things. As it turns out, it's about 40 inches, which is great. 40, so which would be fine. It'll be a little, yeah. No, it's two pieces. So.
Well.
Oh yeah, total.
Yeah.
So this is 20 inches. Wake up, Nancy. That seemed fine. Well, then I looked at their pattern, and I should first tell you what yarns I'm using. I'm using Fiberspace Cumulus, which is their alpaca blend, I think. And I'm using Maryland, which is a cotton yarn with teeny tiny sequins, and I just love it. I hope you can see these. They're very sweet. So I'm holding it together, and I'm doing it singly. So as I use this pattern as kind of a jumping off point. And it basically, and this is a formula for anything you want to do like this. You just make two rectangles, and all you need is the dimension that you want, the circumference. So it's in two pieces, so it's half that. Am I making sense? So if I wanted 40,
top down or bottom up.
it's either way. So it's bottom up. I'm doing bottom up, and again, this is the pattern. So here I just did a little bit heavier border in garter, and I don't even know what I didn't like how she was doing it, or no, it was like reverse stockinette and stuff. I didn't want to do that. So what I did do, using her pattern as a starting point, I think I did 14 rows in garter to start with the yarns held double. Then I took the Maryland and held it singly and did a stockinette stitch. And then I'm going to go back to the yarns being held together, and I think I won't do 14. I might do a little less. I don't know if I'm going to do them, these sections. I could do, this is I think 8 rows. I could do 8 rows of each going all the way up. I think she changes hers, getting fewer and fewer rows. I might do that in between, or I might just keep it equal. So what I will do now is pick up the Cumulus again, holding it together with the Maryland, and do garter. And then I'll do that for probably 8 rows, and then I'll do the stockinette in the Maryland. So I'll do both sides the same, and then I'll sew a seam. So I'll have a seam on the side here, on each side, and I'll determine where I want that to end by holding it up and deciding. This will have to be worn probably with something underneath it, so I don't have to worry too much about, you know how a bra can show here. I don't have to worry about that too much, so I might leave it a little bit, a big opening. So I would sew it up to a certain point, stop, and then I'll sew, again, I'll probably measure what I want, because it's like it forms a boat neck, and then I'll sew the shoulders together, thus making my armhole and making the shoulder seam here. Very simple thing to do. I don't know if you could, I was thinking, could you do it in the round? You might be able to do it in the round and then stop at the armhole and go back and forth, but I'm not doing that. So that's what I'm doing with this, and that's how you can, you know, think about.
And how will you seam it?
I will seam it with just a running stitch going up, not a mattress stitch. I don't want that. But I saw the one that Robin's sister did, and it looked a little big to me. So it's a good idea to look, when you're looking at a pattern, look under projects and see what other people have done. And then you can decide, oh, and if the person says, oh, I did the small and it looks a little big, all you have to do is cast on fewer stitches, because this is just, you know, as we said, it's a rectangle. So it can be any amount of stitches, just do the same for the front and the back. So that's what I'm doing with that, and that's how you can change things, because remember, the nice thing about knitting is you custom make something for yourself, so you can make changes. I decided to show, oh, we have some new yarn in the shop, and it's called Bamboo Bloom. We had this a number of years ago, and so people might remember it. It's a thick and thin. It's rayon from bamboo, so the rayon is made from bamboo, and it's wool and a small amount of acrylic. So it's fun fibers. So the wool is the fluffy stuff in here. You can see that. And the bamboo and, what did I say was in it? Acrylic is in this shiny, stringy part. So it's a thick and thin yarn. And I'll show you some patterns in a minute. Well, maybe I'll show you the patterns first and then show you the colors. So I have two patterns, though there are lots you could do. Any of the patterns that you've seen some out there that have you, that are thick and thin, and so you knit the thin and then purl the thicker parts, you know, on a sweater, or not on a sweater, on a scarf. So you've seen some like that. This one, I think, does that. This is called Bamboo Bloom Hat. Now, I'm sorry, but I would not do that one with the little bow. So I'm not recommending that. It might be your jam. It's not mine. But I think the hats are very cute. So Bamboo Bloom Hat by Doreen Marquardt. And I think it's a simple one skeiner. So that would be a fun one to do. And then another fun one, and we did one when we had this before, and it might have been this pattern. Bamboo, it's called Bamboo Infinity Scarf. And this again, you, I think you purl on the parts where the thicker yarn is. And this is just a cute infinity scarf. But I thought these are both quick, summer, fun, colorful projects. So I'll show you the colors. You can get excited about those because I think they do an amazing job of putting colors together for this yarn. This one is called Kabuki. So that's purples and lavenders and a little gray and pink. Very pretty. And then we have, so these would be, this would make a great, could do a shawl too, just any shawl, or a wide scarf with this for the summer. I think this would be great because it's so, they're such bright colors. And once you knit it up,
Ooh, it's not too heavy.
yeah, and you can use a big needle, which is, that's a crochet hook, that you can use a 9, and you could go up to a 10, 10 and a half. And it's any of these nice loose things are great for a summer evening wrap. This one is called Kimono. These will be online hopefully later. We're doing this on Friday, so hopefully by Saturday we'll get them up online, which is when you may see this. This one I just love. I think these colors are so sweet. And this is called T-E-A. I'm just shaking my head to someone that we're not open yet. And this one's the peaches and the pinks, and I just think this is beautiful. Really, really pretty. I was just saying to Robin, I don't think I would make anything with this yarn, but now I think I would with that. That color is gorgeous. This is another one that I think is quite pretty, called Dragon. Pinks and grays and red, and quite pretty. Another, this is for those of you who are neutral fans. This is called Crane. This is beautiful. Wow. For summer, it's so subtle and pretty. The colors are just dreamy. Reminds me of seashells. That's what they should have called it. And finally, this one is called Fuji. And blues and grays, little turquoise or teal. Very pretty. Ocean colors. So I recommend those. They're fun to work with, fun to make something great for summer, or I think these are summery. I'd love to show you new patterns or patterns that I haven't seen before. And of course, we're into summer knitting, and just like to say to people that I have customers who come in, or people that are in classes, and they come in and say, oh, I haven't touched this in a week. Well, you can't make progress on your knitting if you only knit when you come to knitting class or to our knit-alongs, or if you're just somebody who picks it up every 2 weeks or so. It's not a recipe for getting anything finished. So everybody has 10 minutes in their day that they could devote to a knitting project. And you'd be surprised if you did 10 minutes a day, how quickly something will get done. Of course.
Although it's like a bag of chips.
Yeah, it's like a bag of chips. You get started.
3
Yeah.
hours.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Robin says it's like a bag of chips that could lead to a longer time in knitting, which is good. A lot of people can't knit while they watch TV, which I think is too bad, because a lot of us watch a lot of TV. And for me, that's perfect knitting time. And I watch a lot of things that I don't have to pay close attention to. So I can listen and knit at the same time. But I can also look and knit at the same time. And you would be surprised if you're doing a simple project, like just straight stockinette, how simple it is to knit without looking. It's just the feel with your fingers. I remember Bruce Weinstein, who is a designer who has come in and has taught here over in the past, did a thing on knitting without looking, and he had everybody with a blindfold on. Somewhere I have a photo of it. It's very funny. And people were learning to knit. I've seen young kids who just, because they're so interested in talking and doing stuff, so they'll be knitting away, talking to people. So, that said, find some time to do a little bit every day, and you'd be surprised how it improves your knitting too if you do a little bit every day. The first project I have is called Sundae Swirl Tank. It's sundae like as in the ice cream sundae. And I think this is just a fun, quick knit. It has some cables in it. It's done in the round. It's charted. And there's lace in it and a few short rows. So those are opportunities not to say I can't do that. That's an opportunity to say I'm going to learn how to do these things. And because we're so lucky in this time in our lives to have Google how to do things and Ravelry to show us tutorials, you can find out how to do any of these things. So instead of saying, oh, I couldn't do that because I don't know how to do cables, you can say to yourself, oh, this is a great opportunity to learn to do cables, which, by the by, are very, very simple. So you can, find Very Pink Knits has great tutorials, and there are others, and you can just Google, how to knit a cable, and you'll come up with lots of them. So this one is a DK weight, 22 stitches over 4 inches on a size 2 and 3. Now if I were knitting it, I'd probably be on a 4 or a 5. And because it's a lace pattern, you don't want it to be knit too tightly because you won't see the lace. But again, you want to make it fit. So do a gauge in the pattern to see how it comes out. So one of the yarns I thought would be really good for this is the amazing Amano Sammy. And this is 100% Peruvian cotton, obviously from Peru. And this one's called Cherry Sunset. This stuff is so soft. And this will, I've said this before, people who say they don't like to knit on cotton, this will change your mind. This is like knitting with wool. It's not like those old mercerized cottons that have no give to them. This is amazing. And it knits up, it's so soft and wonderful. I have a top at home in it, and I just throw it in the wash on gentle cycle, cold water, and it comes out great. So this one's called Moss. And this one I love for summer with white pants. This is called Sugared Violet. I see it more as blue rather than violet, and this one is Peach. Speaks for itself. And we have Sand, the nice neutral. Go with black pants, white pants. And we have Coconut Charcoal. Or black. But why they call it coconut charcoal, I have no idea. Anyway, this is a wonderful, inexpensive, very versatile yarn that I highly recommend. Then next I have, and this is more of a winter project, but if you start it now, you might be finished by the fall, hopefully sooner than that. But this is called Coomo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Cardigan by Anka Strict, and we love her patterns. It's spelled Coomo, and it's a beautiful ribbed cardigan with a very nice detail on the back. I don't know if when Robin puts the pattern up if they'll show it, but there's a band and it goes around to the back and it goes into a V on the back. It's kind of a nice detail. And this again is it's like a DK, and what I'm picked out, it says 19 stitches over 4 inches in fisherman's rib. So I think you want a DK. What they use is La Mana, which is also advertised as a DK. So, sometimes it's tricky because different people have a different definition of DK. So what I chose was a yarn called Double Sunday, which is a DK as well. And I love this yarn. It's a non-superwash yarn that is super soft. It's beautiful, beautiful to knit with. This colorway is called Heather Gray, and this one. So I do recommend this. But you could find another DK yarn, but I recommend this if you want something that's perfect for it. This is called Beige Heather, and we have blue and white. Who doesn't need a white cardigan? Everybody should have one for the summer to, put on over their dress and dresses or whatever for the evening, and you wear it all winter long. This one, and it's not to be confused with Beige Heather, this one's called Marzipan. So see how it's lighter? And finally, we have Night Sky. That's it's really a blue-gray. But I think these are all good neutrals that you can wear with a lot of things. So it's just a ribbed brioche tuck. Oh, it's brioche tuck, which is easy to do. Cardigan. They call in fisherman's rib, so that's what they call brioche tuck. I have a really good summer knit. It's called Arisu, A-R-I-S-U, by Svetlana Volkova. I've seen a lot of her patterns lately. This you can't see on here because it got printed out in black and white, but Robin will throw a picture of it. Has a nice lace detail at the bottom, and it has kind of a V-neck with some lace right in here. I think you'd find it fun, interesting to do. It's bottom up. It's a chevron design in the lace edging. It's cropped, but remember, and you should really remember this, a lot of people will just go right past a pattern or say, no, I don't want to do that, it's cropped. You can change your length. In here, you would just knit longer up to the armhole and to where the V-neck is. You have to do maybe a little bit of math to figure that out if you want it to be longer. Then doesn't look terribly cropped though. I think a good length on most people is just maybe an inch or two below your waist. If you do it too long, it's going to show. If you have any kind of rolls or anything, it's going to show that. If you have it end where those, where your stomach might be a little bit larger, or you have some rolls on, like I've got love handles on the side, I find when they end right there or around there that it's pretty good. It kind of hides all that. But that's your choice. You can choose to do whatever. But you would lengthen it in here, but taking account for where that V-neck starts. So the V-neck, generally, they start where the armhole starts. So I would do some calculations and double check that. But the yarn that I chose to do it with, they use a 100% linen. And while I love linen, that's how I injured my thumb. We have modern linen, but I think it's a little heavy for this. But you have to be careful using something like linen that you're not pulling too tight on it, because it doesn't have any give at all. So besides our modern linen is too heavy for this, what I recommend is the Sandusgarn Lena, which is cotton, viscose, and linen. So it has a lot more give to it. It's easier to use. And this stuff wears like iron. Anything with linen in wears really, really well. And you throw it in the wash, comes out great. So these colorways are, this one I really like. It's called Light Rose. It's not like a real feminine pink. It's a dusty light pink is what I would call it. So I think that's a really pretty one. And then we have this one, which is a coral, I would call it. It's called Blossom. but it's like a light coral, a pale coral. These two together would be fun for something striped. We do have, I'm not showing you all the colors of the Lena that we have. You can look online to see what others we do have. This one is white. And white tops in the summer, I think, are great, especially if you, and you shouldn't, but especially if you do get a tan. A white top looks great. That's not me. I'm so freckled that I don't tan, I burn, and I try to stay out of the sun. This one's turquoise. Fabulous summer colors. These are just great. This is called Hortensia. And this one is lime green, big surprise. And finally, this is called blue mint. That's pretty. I think I'd like that. Nice. Anyway, those are some suggestions for summer knitting. I believe, and I might be wrong, are there still some spaces in Giovanna's Fixing Your Mistakes? Two spaces. It's on June 7th at 1, I believe, here in the shop. So if you're one of those people who makes a few mistakes, and don't we all, but if you don't know how to solve those mistakes or fix them, this is the workshop for you. You really want to learn to fix things because nobody, well, I knew one woman who said, I never make mistakes because I don't want to have to fix them. She was an expert knitter, mind you. But those of us who knit a lot still make mistakes. My mind somehow goes, or my needles go faster than my mind, or whatever, faster than I can read a pattern. So I'm always making mistakes, and I'm a master at fixing them. So you'll want to become a master too, so I recommend this workshop. And if it fills and you still want to do it, please let us know, because we might be able to arrange a second class another time. So have a great week of knitting. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave comments, please. Or leave a comment about what you might like me to talk about. We love to think of new things, and tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. We can take it. So let us know. And happy knitting. Bye-bye.